Yo, what's going on, man? Today or tonight is it's still March. March this April, I'm sorry, April the 2nd. Um there's a bunch of games on the board in the NBA for tomorrow. I capped the games early, like I typically do. I kind of I guess I realized that some of these were going to be double digit spreads. I didn't realize that we were going to have 8 games tomorrow and 7 of them was going to have double digit spreads. So does it make me want to, play tomorrow? Absolutely not. There's one bet that I found that I absolutely love. There's a couple I'll wait on the injury report for as well. But let's jump into it. So quick recap of yesterday. And for people who didn't get a chance to watch the show today, I will not be doing the morning show tomorrow, which by the time you see this video, it will be Wednesday. And I won't do a morning show on Thursday either. If there's some looks that I like, I will be sending them out to the members. If you want access to all the plays that I make, you can use the link in the description. That'll take you to the YouTube channel, and you'll be able to access all my plays when I make them. As far as today go, I will be back on Friday for regularly scheduled programming. Friday, probably morning, probably back on Saturday, honestly. Anyway, as far as the plays from last night or tonight, Golden State minus the 3 was a winner. Shout out to Steph, 51, 10, and 8. Needed that one. That actually propelled me to a winning night. Orlando, San Antonio up and over 219.5. Did get lucky in that one. A late dunk with like maybe 8 seconds left that was unneeded. Propelled us to a win there. Zachary Richteshay, if I could bet Zachary Richteshay again, I would bet that prop again. He had 25 minutes. He shot the ball, which, I was talking about 12 shot attempts. He got 11. He just didn't make them. 3 for 11. Don't think he made any of his threes. I think he finished with 9 points. So I would definitely make that bet again on like in the same exact spot. I think he just had an off night. And that happens. New York team total up and over. I kind of let it ride. Probably should have cashed out of that one as soon as Karl Anthony Towns got rolled out. But it is what it is. They ended up having a big first quarter, and then second half, they didn't score any points. They didn't need to. Philly couldn't score the basketball, so they did stay under the 118.5. Just kind of got the short end of the stick with the injury report in that game. But this Golden State win total, Golden State win total up and over 43.5 is a bet that we made at the NBA All-Star break, and that was a winner, 2-unit winner. So we did finish the night with profit because of that winner, and hopefully we can continue to propel that into to the rest of the season. I also bet Golden State to make the playoffs, which tonight they jumped the Memphis Grizzlies for 5th. Now the Grizzlies are in 6th. So shout out to Steph, man. Definitely needed that for a profitable night. Back-to-back profitable nights to start April. Hopefully we can keep it going. Let's jump into it. So first up, we start off with Jackson, your AI sports betting handicapping tool / partner / homie, whatever you want to call it, assistant. Jackson is an AI sports betting model that can help you save tons of time on your research with real insight, injury reports, line movement, all kind of stuff, player props, and it's more than just NBA as well. So there's a link in the description, as it always is, for you to check out Jackson. If you're interested, you can get 50% off of whatever tier you sign up for, or you could just head over to Pond Sports and check Jackson out. You can get free 5 prompts per month now, and they got a cheaper tier as well. So definitely check it out. Today, Jackson did go 2-0 as well. Jackson liked Jackson liked what was it for today? It was Kobe White up and over his points prop. That was a winner. Points, rebounds for Kobe White, and that was a winner. Kobe White had a 28.3 rebounds, 6 assist game, so he did cash that. And Jackson also liked the over between the Atlanta Hawks and the Portland Trailblazers. I couldn't quite get there. The total was 237.5 this morning. It did finish with 240. So Jackson went 2-0. As far as today or for tomorrow, asked Jackson what's his favorite player prop. Jackson looks like Jackson likes looks like Jackson likes Jalen Green up and over his points and assists at 26.5. It says he's hit this in 80% of his games last 10. The Jazz are the worst defense in the NBA against his position, and he's averaged 28.4 points and 8 plus assists over his last 10 games and 31 in the 2 matchups against the Jazz so far this season. So Jalen Green is in a really good spot tomorrow, Jackson says. Take him up and over his 26.5 points plus assists. Looks like the odds are -110 over on DraftKings. As far as spread bet, Jackson likes the Kings minus the 12.5 against the Wizards. So the Kings are facing the Wizards team that's decimated by injuries, including Chris Middleton, Malcolm Brogdon, and Marcus Smart. Sacramento's offense led by Sabonis should exploit Washington's 29th rated defense. The Kings are motivated to secure their playoff position, making this a strong pick. So spread bet for you guys and a player prop. Let's get into a couple of the games that I'm going to go through. And like I said, I think it's not 8 games on the board. I'm not going through all 8. I think a couple of them are absolutely skip worthy. If it's a day to take off in the NBA, it's tomorrow, in my opinion. But this one has the potential to be good. So we got the Knicks and the Cavs. A game will be played in Cleveland. I think Cleveland has a pretty clean injury report. The Knicks also we'll have to wait for the injury report for the Knicks because this is the second leg of a back-to-back, which doesn't favor the Knicks well, but we'll talk about that in just a second. Cat did miss the game tonight. I don't think Jalen Brunson will be back. We'll see what happens with the guards as far as campaign and who is the other guard that the Knicks have been missing? They've been missing campaign and Deuce McBride. So we'll see what happens with those two guys. I'm looking at the game logs. Of course, the Knicks they're one of the worst teams in the NBA on the second leg of a back-to-back. Just 10-1 against the spread when they're playing unrested this season. This is also third game in 4 nights as well. The Cavs have 2 days of rest here. And it's no travel either. They beat the Clippers on Sunday at home. They get to stay at home. So it's a lot of conflicting things in this game. I think if Karl-Anthony Towns comes back, which I'm guessing he will return, we're just all playing the guessing game with the NBA's injury report recently. But if he returns, of course, this number is going to come down, in my opinion. The Knicks, as far as the over goes, the Knicks are one of the worst defenses in the NBA when they're playing unrested. 9-3 to the over playing unrested, 4-1 to the over if they're playing unrested and travel is involved. The Cavs have also played in 4 straight overs, and 8 of their last 10 games have gone up and over the total. It feels like all they want to do is run, shoot a bunch of 3-pointers. I was on the wrong side of one of those totals against the Clippers in that game on Sunday. So as hard as it is for me to want to, as much as everything aligns to the over, I think that the Knicks could potentially struggle to score the basketball in this spot. And I know that the Cavs defense hasn't been as great. Like, let me not get it twisted, but they are still the 8th rated defense in the last 5 games. I know that the Knicks are top 10 offense. They're 10th actually in the last 5 games, but they played a significant easier strength of schedule, 23rd in strength of schedule. And I do think that they're going to play slow. You look at their pace, they're 22nd in their last 5 games. And also where they like to score the basketball. The New York Knicks are not shooting the 3-point shot well at all. They're actually only scoring the basketball in the paint, and that's where they're taking a bunch of their shots. Last 5 games, they're 3rd and 5th in opponent in actual rim frequency and rim accuracy. And the Cleveland Cavaliers are actually 6th in opponent rim frequency. So it's not like they're giving up a ton of shots at the rim specifically. I kind of feel like this total opened 230 and a half as well. And it's, starting to come in on the under. I think this could be the game that the Knicks offense really, really struggles to score. And I am guessing kind of that it's played at a slower pace. The Knicks also been getting out running in transition a little bit more. I don't think that's going to be there. The Cavs have been a pretty good transition defense. And I think it's double revenge spot here for the New York Knicks. For the New York Knicks, they've lost every game against this Cleveland Cavaliers team, I want to say. So I do think that it's a little bit more of an under game, but it's really, really difficult to play an under right now between anybody that's involved in the Cleveland Cavaliers game. So that won't let me play it under. I think I'll stay off of the game. The Knicks have won both, and they've covered. I'm sorry, the Cavs have won both and covered both as well. So I'll pass on the game. I'll lean towards the under in this one. Next game up that I did get a chance to go through, and I did bet this one. I laid the 13.5 with the Oklahoma City Thunder. I mean, what more do you really need? Do we really need to say about this Oklahoma City Thunder team? I mean, they're absolutely hooping right now. This is moving. I see a 14.5 in the market as well. The total is 231. So we start with the injury report here. I didn't see anybody listed for OKC. They have been resting Chet and Isaiah Hartenstein in the last, kind of alternating those guys at times. Cade is listed as doubtful. Tobias Harris is listed as probable after missing the last couple games. And then Detroit's going to be shorthanded because there's no Isaiah Stewart. He's suspended for 2 games. Ron Holland is suspended for a game as well. And Marcus Sasser, who has been backing up Cade Cunningham, he also won't be there. So a lot of key, guys that's going to be missing for this Detroit team. And, going back to the game that Detroit played on Sunday when they were playing against the Minnesota Timberwolves, we talked about that game, and we talked about how even though Detroit was coming off a big win against the Cleveland Cavaliers, that game was at home where they were a dog. It's a little bit different on the road, and it's not like they haven't been good on the road. Detroit's been excellent on the road, 22 of 14-2 against the number on the road. You could say OKC has a big game in Houston on Friday as well. Houston is second in the West, so behind OKC. They won't catch them, but potential look ahead spot, I don't think so. So one thing I looked at was OKC, if they're 25-12-1 against the spread when they're playing against an opponent that has a worse record than the opponent that they're going to play in the next game, aka a look ahead spot. That doesn't really affect them as well. 25-12-1 against the number. And we know that they've been excellent at home as well. 26-10-2 against the spread. They're 10-0 straight up and against the spread in their last 10 games. It's their 4th straight home game, so they haven't had to travel. And they dominated the Eastern Conference, 28-2 straight up, 23-5-2 against the Eastern Conference, including 12-2-1 against the spread if they're at home. And they're winning by, against the East specifically, they're winning by about 18 points per game at the crib. Detroit, this will be their 4th game on the road. If Cade doesn't play, they're 0-3 straight up and against the spread without Cade on the road. Each loss has been by double digits, and all of those games have actually gone up and over the total. So OKC team total over, I couldn't talk you off. Detroit is the 23rd rated defensive team in the last 5 games. The Pistons gave up 131 to the Memphis Grizzlies and 123 to this Minnesota Timberwolves team on Sunday. And I was, just kind of taking a deeper look. The thing that really kind of, allowed me to feel confident when making this bet is when I'm looking at where Detroit has been scoring the basketball at recently without Cade Cunningham, even with Cade Cunningham. This is a team that likes to get inside the paint. They like to take a lot of shots at the rim. Last 5 games, they're 6th in rim frequency, 12th in accuracy. That's really the only shot that they're taking a lot of. They're not shooting a ton of threes, bottom 5 in 3-point frequency. And you know what OKC is? OKC is actually the number 1 defensive rebounding team in the last 5 games, which is scary because that was their only downfall on the full season. But if you look at them protecting the rim, 3rd in opponent rim frequency, 1st in opponent rim accuracy. For whatever reason, they're just not taking their foot off the gas. I think they want to close the season out strong. Detroit's another team that also likes to get out in transition, 4th in efficiency in their last 5 games, 7th in efficiency on the full season. OKC is probably number 2, number 3, potentially number 1 in transition defense. I do think Detroit's going to struggle to score the basketball. I'll leave it to 13 points here with the Detroit Pistons, with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Actually, the only bet that I've made. Next game up, we got the Atlanta Hawks and the Dallas Mavericks. Only game with a single-digit spread. Anthony Davis is listed as probable. He should play. Derek Lively is listed as questionable. I'm guessing Derek Lively plays. He did play in the last game against the Brooklyn Nets when they lost recently. On the Atlanta Hawks side of things, the second leg of a back-to-back with travel from Atlanta. They also just came off a loss to the Portland Trail Blazers where they were laying 5 points and just couldn't get a stop in that game. Could not get a stop. Denny Avdia had a 25-point triple-double. And Atlanta, it's not like they really ever care about defense. Their offense just typically plays better. On this season, Atlanta has been they've been okay on the second leg of back-to-back games. They're 7-7 straight up and against the spread playing unrested. 4-2 against the spread if they're playing unrested on the road. 3-1 against the spread if they're playing unrested in their road dog as well. And they've been more profitable on the road. 20-17 against the spread on the road. 4-2 against the spread in their last 5 games now. But you look at this Mavs team, I think that, not that it was a look-ahead spot against the Brooklyn Nets in their last game, but they had just beat Brooklyn by 19 points, trying to get everybody integrated with Derek Lively being back, playing with Gafford, Gafford didn't play, but trying to get Derek Lively, accustomed to playing with Anthony Davis. And they just allowed the Brooklyn Nets to really get hot from the three-point line. Brooklyn hit 23s. Atlanta is a top 5. The Dallas Mavericks are a top 5 3-point defense in the NBA. And then, the other thing that Brooklyn was able to do, they were able to get out and run a little bit. They scored pretty well in transition. Dallas transition defense has not been great recently. They are number one of the top 5 transition defense in the NBA on the full season, but that was not apparent in that last game. I do think, just kind of looking at it, Dallas has been a weird team. Kyrie in before the Luka trade, after the Luka trade, AD in, AD out. Same thing for PJ Washington, who's been in and out. So it's kind of hard to judge the team, in my opinion, based on full game stats, full game trends, but they have been really good coming off a loss. They just lost by 9. They were laying 9. They lost by, I forgot how much they lost by, but I know that they were laying 9 in that game against Brooklyn the other day. Definitely a game they should have won. On this season, they've done well in bounce back spots, 7-3 against the spread. Coming off a loss as a favorite, they're 4-1 against the spread if they're a home favorite in their next game as well. But ultimately, I think I don't know if I want to lay the points. I think Atlanta, a team that's been shooting a lot of threes. I do expect Dallas to be a little bit better on the defensive end from the 3-point line. I know that they have the defenders. I think that the defense since Anthony Davis has been there, been back in the rotation, has been a lot better than it has been on the full season. So I do kind of feel like we can trust Dallas defensively in this spot. Last 5 games, the Dallas Mavericks are, even with, that game against the Brooklyn Nets, they're still, very, very solid defensive team. They are number 7 in defensive rating in their last 5 games. You're going to have to play some defense to beat Atlanta. I don't think Atlanta brings the defense at all. So Atlanta is in a revenge game. Dallas beat them early this season. In revenge games, Atlanta's 16-6 to the over, include 9-2 to the over if they're on the road in a revenge game. They're 7-2-1 to the over in their last 10 games, including 7-0-1 in their last 8 games after last night game as well. And Dallas is only playing overs as well. They're 8-1-1 to the over in their last 10 games. So I know it's a pretty high total. I would still be looking towards either Dallas team total up and over. I think Dallas gets enough stops in this game as well, with Anthony Davis and Derek Lively being there. I think it's going to be difficult for Atlanta to score. And as long as they don't get too high from the 3-point line, I do think that Dallas minus the 4 is the right play. Dallas minus the 4 or Dallas team total up and over is the way that I would play this one if I was playing this game. Have not made a play on it, though. Just giving you my thoughts. Next one up that I wanted to go through is so 2 more. I want to go through the Spurs and the Nuggets. The Spurs and the Nuggets are actually still playing right now at the time that I'm recording this. They are winning by 3 against Dallas. No, Minnesota's winning by 3 with 2 minutes left. Game just went to a break. So regardless if Denver wins this game or not, there's a few things that really sticks out for me to make me like Denver, specifically Denver's team total. So this line opened, I think, at 13.5, 14. It's already being bet up, even with the game ending already. It's already up to 15. The total's listed at about 235. Just looking at the trends, I do think it's a Denver team total up and over spot. I think the team total is let's see, I wrote it down. I think it's going to be pretty high. It's definitely going to be high. 125.5. I think that they score 130 tomorrow against the San Antonio Spurs. A couple things here. So Denver, first of all, you guys, San Antonio, who will be on the second leg of a back-to-back, third game in 4 nights, 4th and 6, and 5th and 7 with travel. That's a terrible spot. Even though the Denver Nuggets are going to be on the second leg of a back-to-back, San Antonio also on the second leg of a back-to-back in a much terrible spot. San Antonio is just 5-9 against the spread when they're playing unrested this season. They're also just 1-5 against the spread when they're playing unrested after the All-Star break, aka since Victor Wembanyama has gone down. They didn't win tonight against the Orlando Magic. They don't really have anything to play for, and I think they get dusted tomorrow. San Antonio is allowing 130 points per game unrested since the All-Star break, so it's not like they're playing any defense. They can't rebound the basketball either. I keep saying Dallas. This Denver team is actually 12-3 against the spread. 12-3 straight up when they're playing unrested this season. And for whatever reason, their offense is actually better on the second leg of a back-to-back. They got the second highest offensive rating when they're playing unrested at 126.3 offensive rating. They're 12th in defensive rating as well. So they play better defense also. I know 15 is a big number, but it would only be laying the points with Denver here. But I think just to be safe, their team total up and over 125.5 is high, but it's high for a reason. The Spurs play fast. They don't play any defense. Denver went into tonight's game without Jamal Murray. And without Michael Porter Jr., if those guys come back tomorrow, I think they score 140 if they really want to against the San Antonio Spurs team. So that's my thought process, even without this game finishing. And it's nothing that I bet yet, of course, because I do want to see what happens with the injury report. But that's my thought process on that one. Last but not least, the Pelicans and the Clippers. This line opened with the Pelicans laying, I think, 17 points, 17 and a half maybe. The Clippers laying 17 and a half, 17 points. And the total was 217 and a half. It's already coming up to 218 and a half, and I agree with that number. So the Pelicans will be without Zion tomorrow. CJ McCollum, of course, is done for the season. Both of those guys are done for the season. Jordan Hawkins is out as well. I think those are the three best offensive players that they have. The Clippers are a team that has been playing really good basketball as of late. They've covered 9 of their last 10 games. They've won 8 of their last 10 as well. It is the first game back home after a 4-game Eastern Conference road trip. But I looked into it. The Clippers actually coming off back-to-back road games when they come back home. They're 7-2 straight up and against the spread in this spot. So do I want to lay 18 points with the Clippers? Nah. The reason why I'm actually doing the show is because I know a lot of people don't want to lay that number. I don't want to lay it either. I think what you can play in this spot, though, is the Clippers team total up and over. So let's talk about the Pelicans. The Pelicans are 11-26 against the spread on the road. Of course, they've thrown in the towel. They don't care about winning anymore. You got a Clippers team that plays really well at home, 25-11 against the number, 9-1 against the spread in their last 10 games. This is a revenge spot. For whatever reason, the Pelicans always play this team really, really tough. They've actually beaten the Clippers 9 of the last 10 games that they played. And when they played earlier on March 11th, the Pelicans won that game at home as well. A 7.5-point dogs in that game, and they were pretty depleted. This Clippers team has only been laying double digits as a home favorite 4 times this season. They're perfect 4-0 against the number. They've won by average of 33 points per game. And they win with defense. 89.5 points is what they're allowing at home as a double-digit favorite. And I do think the Clippers are going to be able to score the basketball. So when I'm looking into these games with these big spreads, right, teams laying 15 points or more, and you got a pretty low total of 225 or less, so one team's supposed to dominate the other team, those games have gone over the total this season. I think you can go back the last couple of years and see that they've gone over 9-2 to the over this season. But more specifically, the favorite that's laying the big number, they're 9-1 to the over on their team total this season. They're averaging 126 points per game in this spot. The way I kind of rationalize it in my head is that the home team that's laying all the points, right? They know that they're playing a lesser than opponent. They know that they don't have to focus on defense, but they also know that they want to get their offensive numbers. So James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, Norman Powell, Zubac, of course, all of those guys are going to want to score the basketball. And I think they do so with no problem. The Clippers team total is 117.5. I think they easily get to 120 tomorrow. So that's would be the play. No matter if they cover the spread, I think they cover the spread too. But no matter if they cover the spread, I don't think the Pelicans defense is going to be able to slow them down. So that's my thought process on this game. That's it. As far as the other games, I know it's a couple that you guys are probably like, Chris didn't touch on this game. The Sacramento and Washington game is interesting to me. I'm probably not betting anything in the game, but I was looking at Domas Sabonis to go up and over his first quarter points prop. I think he could get to the 19.5, which is his full game prop as well. Sabonis gets probably the best matchup that he's going to in the entire league. The Wizards are the worst defense in the NBA. They give up the most points in the NBA. And Sabonis should absolutely do whatever he wants to against this team tomorrow. Sabonis has actually scored. So 5.5 is available on Bet365 in the first quarter. He scored 12 points against the Pacers in that last game, 11 points against Orlando the game before, and 6 points against the Portland Trailblazers 3 games before. What I like about it is the minutes as well. Sabonis has been in and out of the rotation, of course, because of the recent injury, but he's played at least 8 minutes in his last 4 games in the first quarter. In the Pacers game, he played the whole first quarter. So I do like this look for Sabonis a lot. We just need him to get 3 buckets. That could be 2 buckets and 2 free throws. He could score 5 buckets and finish with 10 points. So I do like Sabonis. I think this number at 5.5 will be gone by tomorrow. So that's what I would play in that one. Charlotte, Indiana is a clear pass for me, especially with Miles Turner being on the injury report. What else? Miami and Boston. Miami got they're gonna be without Wiggins, but Boston also first game back home after a super long road trip. They've owned Miami. They've won. I think it's maybe 6 straight times. They've covered all 6 spreads as well. They're 8-2 straight up and against the spread in their last 10 games versus Miami. They've covered 4 of their last 5 games in general, but it's a terrible spot for them being at his first game back home after a 6-game road trip. And they play 8 of their last 10 games on the road. So Miami's also playing a little bit better basketball. But the reason why I'm skipping the game, because Horford is doubtful. We don't know if Holiday's going to play. Porzingis is on the injury report. Jaylen Brown is on the injury report. I'm not trying to figure it out, man. I'm not trying to figure it out. Utah and Houston don't have a dog in that fight either. I will say that Utah has been scrappy against the Houston Rockets for whatever reason. They've covered 4 straight against the Rockets, including both games this season. Houston, they've actually covered 6 of the last 7 against the Rockets. 17 is a big number. I'm not laying it. Houston also got OKC on deck, and it's their first game back home after a short little 3-game Western Conference road trip. The Rockets are also just 4-8 against the spread, traveling from back-to-back road games to a home game, and 3-7 against the spread if they're a favorite after traveling from back-to-back road games to a home game. But I don't really want anything to do with the Jazz either. They're 1-9 straight up, 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games. 18.5 is just a really, really big number. I do think the Rockets can win by that, but not a game that I'm interested in betting. And I think that's it. Yeah, we got through the slate. We got through all the games. If you're betting these ones I just talked about, you can call that 1-800-GAMBLER number. No, I'm just kidding. But cool day for real just to stay off the NBA. But if I'm betting, that's what I'm betting. As far as a quick recap, I did bet OKC minus the 13.5. Sabonis, I like him first quarter up and over 5.5 points. Have not pulled the trigger on it. Cleveland, New York, just a lean to the under 230. I probably will be on the Clippers team total. Just want to make sure it's no funny business like what happened with Cat today. The Clippers don't have a look-ahead game. It's not the first leg of a back-to-back for them. But we'll see what happens, man. We shall see what happens. If everybody's in, I do like their team total up and over 117.5. And I think Denver is going to get to 130 tomorrow against the Spurs. So these will probably be smaller plays for me. The last 2, I do like Sabonis. It'll probably be a half-unit play if I was playing that. But as always, the plays in green are the official plays. There's a link in the description if you want my official plays. When I do make them, they'll be sent to you if you sign up for membership. And that's all we have for today. Resources are always going to be linked in the comment section of the video. So check them out if you're interested. Enjoy your Wednesday, and I will catch you guys in the next one, man. Catch you guys in the next one. I'm out.